Jay here. On tonight's edition of Beer on a Budget, we will be discussing. Alright, tonight's edition of Beer on a Budget, we are going to continue our series on American light lagers. Tonight's will be Coors Light, the last of the big three. If you missed our other two in this series, they were Miller Lite and Bud Light. I'll leave a link in the descriptions below. So anyway, Coors Light, touted as the silver bullet, and they also have recently started advertising themselves as the world's most refreshing beer. We're going to find out. We're also going to see if it's as chuggable or more so or less so than the Miller or Bud Light, which in the can, not so much. They tasted worse, and I can only get maybe 8-10 ounces down. They were about the same though, except for the Miller Lite had a hole, the thingy that you could pop in the top of the can there, and able to get the whole can down no problem. It actually improved the flavor of it too, surprisingly. But anyway, Coors Light can has a, I don't know if you'd call that an air inlet or something, built right in. There's no way to disable it, so it may act like the hole in the can from the Miller Lite. Now, something should be said about Coors Light's can. Little effective marketing there. The mountains turn blue at 39 degrees to show you when your beer is cold, as if you couldn't just touch the can and find out. But as you can see, my mountains are blue. I have my beer chest set at 43 degrees and they're blue now, so either my beer chest isn't accurate or the cans aren't. I'm not sure which it is. I'm going to have to check my beer chest. I'll get back to you on that, by the way. Anyway, so let's find out if it is the world's most refreshing beer. As always, I'll provide a clone recipe. Though, once again, I wouldn't clone this. Hardly worthy of anything. Alright, little or no head. Form there, very light bubbles. Oh, it's almost gone already. Did you see how fast that disappeared? It's actually really lightly carbonated compared to the other light lagers. There's hardly any bubbles rising in that glass, just the occasional one. It's actually quite flat, which is far different than the other ones. So it smells like almost nothing. I mean, literally a little faint beer smell to it is about all I could say. I don't pick up any hops, any caramel note, anything at all, really. It actually smells almost like nothing. Let's see what it tastes like. It tastes cidery, and really dry, and a slight bitter finish to it, but when you first put it in your mouth, it has a cidery flavor to it. That tells me there's a lot of corn in this beer. My research shows it had rice in it too, but I'm going to say it's heavier on the corn than it is the rice. It's very bland, and I wouldn't say it's refreshing. I've had a lot more refreshing beers than this, and they had flavor too, so definitely not on those two things. Compared to the other two, I mean, we're going to do a taste test to find out for sure, but I would say better than Bud Light, worse than Miller Lite, just from my memory. It's completely boring. Just absolutely boring. There's nothing more you can say about it. There's little quality to it at all. Well, let's find out if you can chug it. It doesn't taste like much, so it might drink just like water. Bottoms up. empty. Their can design, without any modification, no pop in the hole in the top, is chuggable. I would call it the most chuggable beer so far. It may have to do with that little vent. It did really drink like water, and it actually tasted better chugging it than it did just sipping it out of a glass. Just like the Miller Lite, when you pop the hole in the can, it tasted better. I would say this is a beer. This is probably the most chuggable beer we've had so far. It may be their can design. We may have to revisit this and try it all in bottles where there's no add-ons or cheap tricks. I mean, a bottle's a bottle, you know, or just pour them in a glass and find out. But so there it is. Review of Coors Light. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. It means a lot to me. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. It means a lot to me too. And then you won't miss any episodes. Stay tuned. We're going to do one more light beer, and then I got a surprise coming up for the taste test. So stick with me. Have a great night.